Hello friends, families, and strangers of the internet. Welcome back to episode 2 of our zoo build. So last time we started our zoo with our zoo mascot, the swan. And if you remember, we foregoed solving our financial woes in favor of designing our swan infographic. If you've noticed, I've solved our money problems. I sold swan feet pics. I'm just kidding. In all seriousness, I have discovered the money printing technique that are exhibits. So I've added 2 exhibits here that I will build a home for in this video. Also, I've built another habitat that I will show you in the next episode. But let's get to the meat of this episode. It's funny because I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Anyways, our zoo has a good start, but before we continue to expand, I want to lay our foundation a bit more. Branding. And by branding, I mean we're gonna make this is the logo episode. We're doing a logo. Now, without going too deep, a good logo is simple. And I don't mean like the Foxfire redesign, like the vintage to modern type that a lot of companies are doing. I'm talking like over-designed, cluttered, like badges that are cosplaying as logos. We want a logo that's simple, recognizable, and that accurately represents our zoo. When doing designs like this, thumbnails are important. If you're an artist or designer just starting out, I know, I was there once. Thumbnails are tedious. They're boring for me. At least they were boring for me. And especially when you have like an idea in your head, it's really hard to like sit down and actually commit to doing thumbnails. I hated doing them too, but trust me, they do a good job of emptying your brain and making space for new ideas. This logo wouldn't exist if I had not done so. For this, I did about like 4 or 5 thumbnails before realizing our zoo name kind of sucks. Realistically, there would be nothing we can do if the company name is that. As a designer, we're not really in charge of naming the company. But since this is a silly little zoo management game on my computer for a YouTube channel, which is also mine, that like 50 of you watch, I elected to change it. So with our first official rebrand out of the way, I finished up my sketches and nailed down a final design. Now I did pick brand colors off screen, but my process for this was pretty simple. Our brand is family oriented, since most of our customer base are probably going to be families, younger children, younger adults. It's a zoo, so we want to lean towards more natural, like a more natural color palette. I like to use color palette generators until I find the colors that fit what I'm looking for. And I use a similar process for fonts. Family friendly equals bubbly or thicker fonts that are a bit more, like cutesy, which sounds easy, but anyways. After our main font is chosen, then I pick a few more fonts out. When branding, you want to have font options because you don't want to be making an advertisement using only the logo font. That would look weird. You want your action fonts, the attention-grabbing fonts, and then a font good for products, like for print products like brochures, and fonts good for digital use like websites. What we're looking at now is our logo icon. Usually you make the main logo first and then the icon, but for some reason I did it backwards. Icon logos are great for when you want your logo somewhere your normal logo wouldn't normally work. I use logo icons all the time for social media graphics. They ensure an audience knows the post is from your company without taking up so much space and having the logo be like in your face so often. Because nobody wants to see your Instagram page be mostly your logo. That's boring. You can also see me making different color variations. This is so that we can use our logo regardless of the background. So say you want to put our logo on a black t-shirt, then we can use that white version of the logo. Or even if we wanted to use that blue in the main logo for our background image, we can use one of the other color logos. Now that we have our logo and we are no longer in debt, let's get to work on our entrance. I started by looking at some inspo pics on Pinterest. I then laid out some pathing to give myself a kind of like a jumping off point, because I always get thrown off by like actually having my buildings be something that that the game like can actually like use. It's always glitchy and nobody can actually walk into the building, which obviously is not good for business. I wanted the entrance to match our shops, so I tried to stick to the same building materials. And I just kind of freestyled it from there. My goal here was to add enough screens for us to play with later as we build the new habitats. I also wanted to add an information booth and some kind of merch counter. I went with the Looney Balloons and then 2 information booths, and then I wanted space for our 2 exhibits. I also added an employee area off to one side, and I've left more space off to the other side for an exhibit area. I'm thinking maybe we add like our reptiles or something in there on a later episode. Since we are spending this episode all on the branding and main entrance, I thought I could take a brief moment to just spout fun animal facts since, we're not building a habitat and talking about animals that way, and I still want to talk about them. Also, I just got a camera and I took pictures and I really like these pictures and I want to make you guys all look at them, so here we go. Killdeer, a common North American shore bird, do not actually kill deer. They do, however, kill a wide variety of invertebrates, like beetles. Painted turtles are one of the most common turtles in North America. In the wild, they live for about 20 to 40 years. And that got me thinking, what are they doing in winter? The easy answer is hibernation. Well, not the easy answer, it is what they do. What I'm getting at here is they swim to the bottom of a pond, bury themselves in mud, and basically slow down their metabolism and absorb oxygen through their skin and other body parts. I will not go into detail because it's kind of weird. If you want to look it up, go ahead. They can tolerate long periods of freezing weather because of a substance in their blood that is akin to antifreeze, which prevents their tissues from freezing. They are also born with those markings. They are in fact not painted on. Big Fairy lied to you. Blue jays. They are blue. Kinda. Their feathers contain no blue pigment, but appear blue because of a structural phenomenon where light refracts through their feathers, creating a blue appearance. Big J lied to you. Anyways, thanks for coming to my photography showcase. Fun animal fact section of the video. Let's get back to it. Here's the final look. You can see I have a sneak peek to our next habitat, which is going to be the red-crowned cranes. Like I said, I think in the first episode that I wanted to do them. I used a bunch of screens to create the sign, and I did that in Illustrator off screen. I'm sorry if you guys wanted to see that, but it was really just me playing with the combined shape tool. We also didn't do any of the inside screens. I was thinking the big screens behind the information counter, we could put the ticket prices, but I'm not sure how I want to do that yet because in the game you're kind of constantly changing the price as your zoo improves, and I don't want to continuously reload the image back into the game and not every 10 minutes, so I'll think about that. I'm no professional builder, but I think it turned out pretty good. We'll do a full run through in the next episode so you guys can see what the inside looks like. I'm giving you guys homework. Look up cool facts about a common animal that you see every day and let me know the most surprising one in the comments. I'm curious because I didn't know that thing about blue jays. That was surprising to me. See you in the next one. Bye.